Central. 1-2 coming. And the slider away, which leaves the Mets as the only team in baseball that read them. Up and in.
Top of the zone. I think it's really unfair to hitters because you're taught this. Well, I always thought Verlander threw his curveball up in the zone on purpose.
We are resplendent. Fixing in ain't no mountain high enough. It's the perfect compliment to my girl. He has 4 leadoff home runs this year. He's had 13 hits in the opening game of this series, 12 of them.
Something we're getting used to seeing.
Matthew Boyd misses 15 starts in a year since 2019. And he goes upstairs running lineup.
Yeah,
top left-handed bats in the lineup today. Brett Beatty this season. He goes after a first pitch. 2 of them Wednesday in Arizona, then one in the opening game of the
11 with a 228 slug, and it's got those worried about his changeup. It's just getting by. What he's done in his 7 starts, a 2.75 ERA.
And Soto chases the breaking ball. And
quick turnaround. They had the late game last.
Pete Alonso. Alonso starts. Alonso's been a really
doubles as well. I mean, you look at what he's doing with the doubles. It's been.
And both pitches.
I wanted to play for the Chicago Cubs. That was my dream. And you get those heavy wood bats that we would leave outside all the time. As a player, so I got to know him. Ron Santo lived close to my wife Kim and I.
Michael Busch leading off the second. 0 so far. Count on Michael Busch 0-2. And
handed pitching, selective, power.
First fair ball of the game. There's a fly ball out to left. Brandon Nimmo battling the sun and stays with it to make. It's like a light switch has gone on.
In the zone longer. Something that Juan Soto does.
He only got hit on the hand.
Cubs catchers in 39 games have 38 RBIs. Kelly has 20 and Amaya, all levels, wherever they are. They have home run power.
Leading in stolen bases. And career.
Yeah, he goes with that fastball up in the zone.
And nobody on here is Nico Horner. And the Cubs second base did last year.
Well, that, when they do their bullpens and when they're playing catch.
That was his best pitch.
Interesting.
And Horner pops one up on the infield. Alonso coming in to take charge. Vientos leads off for New York. And pops up the first pitch he sees. Nico Horner looking through the sunglasses. Puts it away.
Both of these teams dealing with injuries to their starting rotation to get off a mound, but you're still looking at several weeks before his week. And then for the Cubs, it was a week ago today that showed at baseball activity right now, and so they'll see at the 2 weeks.
His big league debut last night.
Seeing him at Oklahoma pitch in a game, he just come.
That was just
that day, saying this guy could be in a bullpen right now in the big leagues. Here he is, 16 OPS. 3 of his 7 home.
Is dominated at home and tread.
If you're going to be good, you want to be great wherever you're at. Been put in play, have been in the air, and they've been a little
appearance in this series. Cup, that fastball.
Yeah, he hides it behind his body, his arm. He kind of throws across his body on the other side of the plate, away from he'll backdoor you.
And that one, he's the first base runner in this game. Didn't you just say you might hit?
It's a really good pitch, and a lot of times hitters will swing over the top of that. Well, he didn't miss the spot.
He moved to first base. As Luis Torrens doing the month with a broken hamate bone, and he did a terrific job. There's that move by Boyd, a semi-balk move.
I think Acuna has played extremely well. I think anyone in the bullpen has been fantastic without.
Torrens pops one up. Busch will take a look, but that'll be a lot of play, especially with Sean Manaea on the sidelines. Torrens trying, and David Peterson, guys who've been around here for a few years.
Oh my goodness. And where did they get this guy from?
Torrens stocks one out to left center. Back in the gap goes Suzuki near the wall. Torrens still can't make the catch. Around third is Marte. He'll come in.
High off the wall, but you talk about Trent on just the left side of his glove, and I don't know if.
And now Luis Angel Acuna, and he takes the first
decision making, offensively, defensively. It's a great dimension to have.
Often able to cut it down, and I think that don't really concentrate as much on hitting the ball in play with 2 strikes.
Issue, but so far he has been brilliant.
He's been hot, and he hits a comebacker off the glove of Canning, deflects out to Lindor, double clutches and loses the play. And Swanson's gotten it.
Reading the baseball and getting the hop they want, but when and he double clutches it, and that's why Swanson is safe. You know, getting back to Holmes and Canning, you're talking about gap
for the Cubs. Let's check in with Taylor.
At the time, and they just hit it off. They stayed in touch and have throughout the years. The photo on the right was from Luke on third. Is healthy now and looks up to Justin Turner big time, as you can imagine.
For that young man, and it was great that he got to see him like he is done with this young man, and that's why.
And he takes that first 2 innings, gives up an infield hit and a walk.
That's okay. He's got elite speed as well. Vientos has to be ready.
And Birdie's set to swing. They're still trying to figure it out.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a really high level, but it happens to so hard to manage. It was something that
So most afternoon games, it's right field. Strong struck out his first time up.
So he's in his future right now.
Oh, he got off to a pretty good start. It's a 2-0 change. He's on that fastball.
He has.
And a good back foot.
A really good job of expanding the zone when today. Here's where the battle's these years of traveling.
Tyrone Taylor pops one up on the infield. Everybody converges. And Bush, the guy with the biggest glove. So 1 out of no.
You know, it makes me think involved, and that's why they came up with their song. And I feel like
he decided not to go with "We Will Rock You," but it's another Francisco Gold Glove.
That too,
since joining the Mets. On the year along the left field line, Suzuki with a long run.
Most switch hitters are naturally right. And you don't get near as many at bats. It was
last year when Francisco got off to a poor pitchers this year. This is their 41st game.
It was not the least in baseball.
Line into left field, a base hit for Lindor. So I just think there isn't that much.
A lot of left-handed relievers that throw hard now, and that's something that.
And there's that Boyd pickoff move, and he nearly. I'm trying to remember the last time I saw an open. Fouled up the front. He carried it over beyond 1987. John surgery, didn't have a job. And it wasn't until June of last year that the guard.
I think you're still running into an out.
Pulled down to first, handled beautifully by Bush. Out at second, and Swanson with the relay for the 3-6-3 double play. Nicely done by Michael.
Just using effectively. You know, we know that slot.
Mindy, you know, he's also driven in 11 runs. What has he meant to your club?
Team, and he continues to do so. We lost Alvy, spent so much time preparing and going through scouting. He doesn't have to attacking with running game. And on top of that, the at-bats, man, clutch for us. He's a really good player.
And Seiya Suzuki leads off in the 4th to it. Number, and Canning, a former Gold Glover, makes a beautiful.
He was in big league spring training when I was a manager with the Yankees here. You would think that you have more control, but I guess if you have gold on your mantle and put him in the big league, the Rule 5 draft the next year, but I think it hit.
Ever since Carlos Mendoza came here last year, had a catcher. Oh, it's for the Mets to the point now.
And the fatigue factor that you get around the block. He's been a really young player in the big leagues and fingers.
Line scoreless innings for Griffin Canning. And a 1-0 in the 4th. Here's Brendan Nimmo, who struck out his first time up.
All year he has been dominating. Second time, just so.
The only way to go. I mean, when you think about it, as long as throws a fastball,
does, and that's why you see him getting a lot of pop-ups.
Line the other way by Nimmo, coming on Suzuki, but he'll have to play it on the high.
Get extended, doesn't finish the swing, but
you see more of a high on base percentage guy.
Like,
well, we mentioned the Met. Marte was hit on the foot by a pitch his first time, and he pulls one through the hole for a base hit. So
Marty said, I'm not waiting for that back foot slider to get bit. I'm going to hit a hard ground ball between short.
The second inning. And he gets one in the air along the left field line. Suzuki battling the sun and the wind going toward the corner.
Special about it.
Nico Horner leads off in the.
I did go to St. Louis one time. Then I yelled at him for another couple innings, and he threw me another one.
Really? As a kid?
No, I don't think my father would.
Horner dribbles one out in front of the plate, and Torrens pounces on it. Claim Pope Leo as one of their own. They put it up on the marquee and everything.
Can get someone.
From Craig Counsell, who is sneaky funny, by the way. Blick, and you grew up in Chicago. Usually your dream school is Notre Dame. A little bit of a jab at Villanova there from the manager. Flag.
I like his thinking. Villanova.
Check swing on a 3-0 pitch. Certainly not what Swanson had in mind, and Acuna makes the toss for the second out.
To catch it. To me, that was the most frustrating out. And then you get a 3-0. I think a guy like Nico Horner, swing and miss something, he might be able to put something in play the next pitch a little harder.
Justin Turner grounds one down to third. Nice easy hop for Vientos. And that retires the side. 9 in a row retired by pretty stark. First time through the order, they're hitting 183.53.
And I think what's probably so not just base hits, it's a lot of damage.
Hooked into left field, a base hit for Acuna. Was able to stay back just enough on National League. Tyrone Taylor, the batter, and he pops up the first pitch.
Mets just kind of stayed out of the way. You don't ever, boy.
Now tell me truly, when you were in, would you catch him?
No. We just let him fall. I was always worried that I was going to get hit in the head when I was over there. So look.
Curveball just missed the outside corner, and it's 1-2. This one's popped up near second base. And again, it's Bush taking charge of it. And now Boyd begins 9 years ago, and there's nobody against him. So is it a matter of picking up,
hitting the top of the baseball opposed to the bottom of the baseball?
Lindor pops one up behind first. Bush with a long run back over the shoulder, can't make the catch.
The sun fighting the wind, the ball pushing, as you said, left play that he's capable of making, but it's a really tough play. It is, you almost want to get your back.
Somebody was giving first base coach Antoine Richardson, got in Bush's way, going after that pop up the pickoff move, and rookie Luis Angel Acuna for the second out. That's his third.
And we've talked about he's quick to home. You see the one little step up, try to hide as much as possible.
And Lindor goes down and Mets 1, Cubs nothing. It's out of the imaginary line.
I would say so.
Out to right his first time up, and he flagged up.
Well, we've talked about PCA, but he continues to put up good numbers. But Canning,
dent in the team that traded him away. His 10th home run.
A really good job of keeping the ball just below the zone.
So he always told me he struck him because of the punt with the big leg kick. So that was what really drew him to Turner. Never say never. You saw the blue hair.
It can't possibly feel good. Just an athletic trainer with Torrens, who really very hard
out of the thigh, and it really hurts. Sometimes when you block a ball, best friend, but that one that they bounce to hit off your wrist, has helped catchers is the catching on one knee. I really don't have the same fatigue level that you have to do that, as pitcher's control is so good that for one of the things that I always hated too is done to certain hitters and what the hitters, it's just
nice Torrens. Fortunately, Francisco Alvarez is.
The bone sat right back down on where it. Oh my goodness! I took a swing that I don't know. It was like a bone scan, and it was hot, and they said your bone is broken.
Are you gotten a second opinion the first time?
And the weird thing.
Into to Kyle Tucker. And he fouls off focused after a fairly long delay. Takes that.
Normal players just below 17.
Second time he's gotten Tucker to hit the ball on the ground. Got that slider that breaks down so well.
Perceive that it's going to break and miss it.
Him this year. And fouled off the foot. Nice to see him walking normally.
But you this is going to be a strike and ends up a strike.
And Suzuki, it's another ground ball. Vientos handles it. Side retire. Pico Armstrong ties the game with